Hi, and welcome to another edition of my video podcast. I'm Bobby Chiu, and I'm just sketching out concepts for this new painting that I'm doing, where it involves all these little critters, and these critters are cute but extremely vicious. And these are some thumbnails that I would start off with to just play around with shapes, play around with ideas to character design these little creatures. Anyways, things have been really crazy lately since the last time I did one of these podcasts. We just been summertime, it's just crazy. The schedule and everything is just nuts because now we have the online school and then we have freelancing and we're traveling a heck of a lot. Since I did this last podcast, we've been to Detroit, we did another convention here in Toronto, and we're just in Philadelphia. So besides doing the conventions, you still have to keep up with your freelance. You still have to keep up with the school, marking all the students' assignments and everything like that. So, when there's a lot of things happening, it can get pretty stressful. But, I find that the one key thing to not letting yourself stress out is to stop thinking about things that won't help you, whether the piece is going to be successful in the very, very end, when you're not even close to being done. Things like, uh, oh, are they going to accept this offer? Am I going to get this job? All these things I find to be completely useless. Like, for example, we have this art show. It's coming up today, actually, and it's in my friend's bookstore and everything, and we're supposed to be promoting our newest book, Subway Sketches. This time, we're getting the stuff printed out of country. So we've had to deal with a whole bunch of issues that we never had to deal with before with our last six books. The seventh book, though, it's coming from out of country, so all of a sudden we have to deal with customs. But the whole entire thing was that the deadlines were super, super tight for this one, and they should have arrived on Thursday. And now the show is on Saturday, so we're supposed to be promoting our books at this time. So I remember Thursday, you know, they told us that, oh, they're not going to come in today, they're going to come in tomorrow for sure. And at that point, for about 20 seconds, I was thinking to myself, what am I going to do? These art books, if they don't come for the show, then it's going to look terrible. It's going to be bad. All this stuff. But I was just focusing on the wrong things. I was just focusing on how bad it's going to be. For 20 seconds, allow yourself to think that fine, and then take a step back. And that's exactly what I did. I just took a step back and just thought about it. Okay, let's not think about, oh, the show's going to be a disaster if the books don't come, this and that. Let's think about how can we make this special for people that do come, and what if we don't have the books for the show? What can we do to make this show special for the people still? So, not a big deal. We just bought a couple cards, well, a bunch of cards, and printed out a nice little thing on the front and a space on the back to sketch on. So on the front it says, if you present this card to the Labyrinth store, then you'll get a free uh, edition of Subway Sketches, so people can purchase early. And when you purchase early, then I would give the people original sketch. Kay and I would both draw on the the little card. So everybody goes away with an original sketch, and when they come back to pick up the book, then they get a book as well. So hopefully, I think anyways that this is going to make, it's going to be a little disappointing that the books aren't there, but it's going to make everybody pretty satisfied because they get to take home some original art along with the book, and something that says that they've been there to the art festival or the art exhibition of subway sketches here in Toronto. Something, a little memento. So hopefully that'll be nice. But as this chaos was happening, as well, I was thinking about, well, what does this mean? Because I have adapted the belief that if anything bad happens to me, as long as I am trying my hardest, then anything that's bad that happens to me only means that there will be good things in the future that are going to absolutely eclipse this bad thing. Because everybody has bad things happen to them. Everybody, it doesn't matter who you are, right? So all of a sudden, now I'm wondering what's going to happen that's going to be good. And if anything bad happens to me again, it's okay. Because then that means I'll just believe that the good thing that's going to happen to me is going to be even better. But the key thing is that you have to be trying your hardest. If you don't try your hardest, what ends up happening is, bad things will always follow you. You always have some good things, but the bad things would eclipse those good things. That's how I see it, anyways. Whether or not this is the way that life is, I don't even really care. If I believe that if I believe in this, then number one, I will always try hard. I will always give it 100%. And two, this way, if anything bad ever happens to me, it will not phase me, and it might actually just energize me to work harder and even get excited at times. How crazy is that? Just getting excited because something bad is happening to me, but not because something is bad is happening to me, but because I am wondering what is the good thing that's going to happen to me in the future now that the bad thing has exposed itself. Lots of bad things can happen. So anything bad that happens to me, I'm saying to myself, well, it could have been a lot worse, and I'm glad that this has happened to me now. This means something good is going to happen to me in the near future. But that's only if I am trying my absolute hardest. So when you're sitting there drawing, you might feel tired. You might feel, bored, frustrated, or whatever it is. Make sure that if you're about to leave that table and stop drawing and go do something else, it's because you really need to. Otherwise, hang in there and bust out a few more hours. Because every time that you're frustrated, that means that you're learning. That means you're starting to learn. That means you're starting to move those little muscles in your brain and things are starting to flow. In the beginning, it's like there's a dam there. And the frustration is like the cracks through the dam. You're about to break through. So if you keep at it, you break through that dam, everything will flow. There's a lot of things in life that are extremely hard and we don't want to do it, but we know that we should. Let's make a little rule to ourselves that it's like the 3-second rule. If you think of it and you know that it's right, you know that that's what you need to do to get to where you want to go, do it in under 3 seconds. Just start. 1, 2, 3. Pick up that pencil, get down to that paper, and just start drawing. Stop thinking about whether or not you can, whether or not you should. If you know that you should, if you know that this is what you need to do to get to where you want to go, a lot of times it's just if you spend more than 3 seconds, then all of a sudden you're going to talk yourself out of it. You're going to talk yourself out of doing what you need to do to get to your dreams because it's hard. Well, guess what? Everything that is good is hard. And if it just came nice and easy to you, then you would never appreciate it. I would never appreciate it. I've had to work extremely hard all through school. All these things never came easy to me. Maybe because I always like it the hard way, I don't know. But when I was in school, the program that I wanted to get into it because I heard that that's the toughest to get into. Where I live, it was Sheridan College, their animation program. Back then, that was just about the only animation program, and it was the hardest to get into. So that's the one I went for. I wasn't really necessarily interested in animation at all, but I knew that they would teach me to draw. I knew that they would teach me to paint. And that's what was so important to me. So that's what I went for. But did I make it the first time? No. I didn't make it the first time. I screwed up my portfolio. I didn't know exactly what they wanted. But I still felt that my skills were at the point where they should have been good enough to get in. But the whole entire thing is, even if your skills are just good enough to get in, that's not where you want to be. You want to be at the top of the pile, at the very tippity top, because that makes it like a sure thing. And that's what I tell a lot of people that come to me and say, yeah, I'm so disappointed in myself, this and that I didn't get into the program that I wanted to get into. Well, you know what? Neither did I the first time. And a lot of things with life, you don't get it the first time. That's when, the majority of people quit, though, after that first time of failing. It's that second and third and fourth try. Those are the people that will always succeed because they never give up. One of the things that really helped me uh, succeed in life, to a point where I am now, anyways, is this whole entire belief that if I am the last one to give up, then I will always be the first one to succeed. And that's something that I hope that everybody will believe in, because that's all that it takes. I heard in some interview that Harrison Ford was saying the same thing about him being an actor, that he didn't really feel like he was the best actor in the world or anything, but his whole entire theory was that if he tried longer than everybody else, when everybody else gave up and he was still trying, that he would make it. That's something that I believe in too. And this is tough sometimes. It can be really, really tough to have that heart, to have that drive, to keep moving forward. And if this is happening to you, if you feel like you've been trying so hard for so long and still you're not satisfied with how your art is coming out, all these things, and you feel like you're on the brink of just giving up. You feel like it's just way too hard. You feel like the road is just way too long. What I want you to do, which is what I did, is start collecting some inspiration. Not just inspiration in art, but I'm talking inspiration as an inspirational people that you respect, that you admire. I, I did the same. And I know it might sound a little cheesy or whatever it might be. I don't know why people always think that cheesy things are bad. Classic cliches, they're usually classic cliches because there's a lot of truth in there. Never give up. Always believe in yourself. All these things. It's you are special. Everyone can do it. All these things. You hear it all the time and it just becomes like this cheesy classic cliche. But all these successful people that are saying this into the TV or writing it down or wherever you're hearing this from, I I truly believe that practically all these people truly believe in exactly what they're saying. Cuz I do anyways, and it's worked very well for me. Anyways, to have yourself surrounded by these inspirational people that you put up stories or you know writing, pictures, whatever it is, whatever gets you going, it can really do wonders because that's you know back when things were even tougher. I used to have at my cubicle all these pictures of all these famous times and places and events and people and all that stuff that would help me inspire myself. For example, I put up, a lot of these. It was from